Hey, Todd, episode 14, StillTalking.com podcast. How you doing, Todd?
I am doing great, Rob. How about yourself?
Man, better than I deserve sometimes, most days, you know?
I hear you, man.
Yeah, man. Did you watch that Hall of Fame game last night?
I did bits and pieces. I got to admit, I didn't have a lot of interest just because a lot of the star players weren't playing.
Yeah.
But it was good to see, two separate teams going at it
Yeah.
instead of having to watch it's kind of a scripted practice. So it just reminds us we're getting that much closer to the regular season.
Well, football is back. That to me, that kind of marks the start of the NFL season for me.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot going on, obviously, with not only just the game going, but the Hall of Fame inductions as well. So
yeah.
I would have to agree with you that seems like, even though it's not the beginning of the calendar year, but as far as actual playing the game, yeah,
Right.
I would say that's the beginning of the season.
Yeah, just some high level stuff I saw, and it's interesting. Aaron Rodgers is actually helping the backup quarterback.
Yeah, I saw that and I heard them talking about it. It's like he flipped a leaf, Rob.
How ironic is that?
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, how ironic is that?
I don't know. I hear that Aaron Rodgers is a complicated guy. Apparently so, because we hear one thing, and again, it is hearsay.
Right.
We weren't there in Green Bay. We weren't there for the practices, the after practice get-togethers, none of that stuff. So I don't know really, how he was with his teammates, but I kind of heard a mixed bag of things. But it seems like whether it's the prodding of his agent, the owner of the team, I don't know, but it seems like he's making an effort to kind of change his persona a little bit.
Bruh.
Yeah. We'll see. All it takes is somebody to make him a little bit upset, and then he gonna get cranky like before.
I mean, a lot of players or quarterbacks to me are like that, especially in the in-game situation. I mean, nobody likes mistakes, and when that particular mistake is costly,
Right.
as in helps you not win the game, I don't blame guys for getting upset. It's just the stuff that comes after it, all the finger pointing, saying stuff after the game, post-game press conference, that kind of stuff. You got to keep that in-house.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy to do, but you gotta channel as much of that negativity as possible and save that when you get behind closed doors.
Yeah. All right. Hall of Fame class: Rondé Barber, Darrelle Revis, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Chuck Hawley, Joe Klecko, Ken Riley. I think it's somebody else I'm leaving off. Maybe a coach. Coryell?
Yeah, I think Don Coryell.
Don Coryell is not on this list, I see. But
okay.
All those people are making the Hall of Fame. The only one Joe Klecko is like years out. If you didn't make it back then, why now? Anyway.
Yeah. I remember watching Joe Klecko play. I'd need to see. I don't have his numbers in front of me.
Yeah.
But certainly he was one of the better, players at the time. But like you said, because he was playing for a team like the Jets in a position that he played, which was not a high valued position at the time. Those guys just don't get a lot of love in general anyway.
Right.
But,
well, he might have got put in by some. I think it was a senior inductee,
committee.
Which I think the players induct him. Some of the players have a vote in that deal.
It wouldn't surprise me. But he had a pretty illustrious career. played a bunch of years. But
Yeah.
overall, I mean, I think the class is really solid. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if they were, but to me, there was at least 2 or 3 guys on that list. If they weren't first ballot Hall of Famers,
They should
I feel
be.
like they should have been. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's get on to some Steeler talk, man. Training camp highlights, pads came on this week. Practice picked up. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of noise going on this week. A lot of popping.
Tomlin loves it between the heat and the humidity and the physicality.
Yeah.
He says that's where you find out, where a guy stands.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. For some reason, me and Tomlin think a lot alike about certain things.
Good.
Man, some sad news. Corey Trice injured his left knee, which is his other knee. Looked like it might be an ACL. They haven't said, but he's going to be out for the season. They already put him on injured reserve designation for out for the season.
Yeah.
They brought in Alfonso Graham. Well, they released Alfonso Graham, running back. Brought in Trenton Simpson, safety, and Isaiah Dunn, cornerback. I feel sorry for Corey Trice, man. Only thing I can think of, come back. Should have better trainers than he had in college. They should kind of know his injury history, be able to work with it, get him back to close to 100% as they can. And he was having a pretty good camp coming up at this point, and I was looking forward to seeing how him and JPJ, man, 2 young corners going forward, maybe we can have them for 10 years together. That would have been really nice.
It definitely would have. I was thinking along the same lines, Rob. You always need an infusion of youth in all positions, but it is, to me, especially in a position like cornerback. You need that mix of experience, with a Pat Pete or and Levi Wallace, and then again youth infusion with guys like Trice and JPJ. So again, because you always say one man's misery is another person's opportunity. These guys coming in for tryouts, that's exactly how the process works. One guy steps aside, another guy steps in and tries to fill that void. So really a rotating door in the secondary right now. I think in the last week to 10 days, they brought at least 5 guys in for tryouts. So it's we're nowhere near the finished product when it comes to the secondary.
Yeah, I think that the sure end was that James Pierre for sure probably make the team now. I think he might have been on the outs if Trice would have been the real deal. Would have been close, but I think Pierre is a good corner, so they could have kept him, but he might have asked to get released because he know he can play. Yeah,
I mean, certainly we appreciate his special teams contribution, and to be honest with you, Rob, barring again injuries to the starting secondary, if that does not happen, and that's what we hope, I don't think you're going to see a lot of Pierre this year as far as defensive snaps over the course of the year. I think his numbers are going to be mostly skewed towards special teams.
Man, he was one of my favorites. I knew he was, young, still trying to learn, but I thought he had something. So, but I'm not there every day, so I don't see everything.
But you never know, man. He really, he may just have it's taking him a while, and maybe he's got that breakout year coming. This could be the year. You never know.
Yeah, 7 shots, man. 7 shots. The defense is they showing why they the defense, right? Why they the number 1 unit on the team.
Rob, I got to admit, they say everybody likes to go to camp. Obviously, there's always thousands of people there. If I could go see one thing at camp, that would be it.
The defense.
Because unlike you, I didn't play football, and so I have to assume that that's a drill that is being used throughout high school and college campuses throughout the country, or or maybe no, not so much anymore with concussion protocols and
what drill is that? The backs on backers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about the 7 shots. You know how we on the goal line.
Okay, yeah. I got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was talking about 7 shots. Defense is pretty much winning every day. You get 7 chances from the 3 or something, 2.
Yeah, 2 or 3 yard line. Yeah.
And pretty much defense is winning every day. I think KP might be winning on his snaps, but they divvy up the snaps between most of the quarterbacks. So, but anyway, the defense is doing what it's supposed to do.
For sure, Rob. I mean, that's like you said, especially early on in the season, the team is going to lean heavily on the defense.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, obviously, we need the offense to perform, but again,
Yes.
it may take a little while for them to get in their groove. Just like last year. I mean, if you just look at who you and I perceive to be starters or guys that are going to get a lot of playing time that are new to the team, it's a few guys. So this is going to take a process. They're not going. I don't think they're going to hit the ground running in game one. Obviously, we'd like to see that.
Right.
Because the sooner they do that, then they can work on becoming more efficient. So we'll see. I know how optimistic you are, so I'm sure you're expecting, first week of the season, 24, 28 points.
Yeah, I'm expecting the average 24 points, but we won't get there yet. Backs on backers. That's the drill you like.
Yes.
And I imagine you wanted to see Landon Rodgers running over everybody.
I mean, when they start nicknaming guys Thumper, then that kind of, tells you a little bit about their mental makeup, like they used to talk about Vince Williams.
Right.
So apparently he is like, Vince Williams 2.0 in that respect. That's what, his characteristics, that's what he excels at, is that. And you and I both lamented last year, Rob, how minus Robert Spillane, you really didn't have a lot of that in the linebacker group.
No, you didn't have no thump last year.
No.
Wasn't very physical. This year, it looked like they went out and got physical guys. Landon Roberts was manhandling Anthony McFarland in that drill.
I mean, that's unfair, man. I feel sorry for Anthony McFarland. That's not his skill set.
No. But I tell you what, Jaylen Warren probably could have handled that. That's when you handle the pass rush, especially if you're a little guy. The bigger guys are gonna just they're not gonna try no soft move.
No.
They're gonna try to run right over you. So you gotta be prepared for that. I mean, look at Emmitt Smith. Them big guys, they start doing soft moves because he would put it on them. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
That type of pass coverage. So that separates the men from the boys. I like those drills too. Darnell Washington against TJ Watt holding his own. What do you think about that? That was kind of impressive to hear.
Obviously, Washington's got the edge as far as just sheer size, and maybe, that's what helps give him a little bit extra base to hold down against somebody like a TJ.
Yeah.
He can let those arms kind of go out a little bit and try to reel him in before he gets past him. But I've told you ever since they drafted him, I personally I got high hopes for Washington to be an all-around tight end, blocking, catching, everything, setting screens. I just think that given the appropriate amount of time, that he could, quote, be like a 5-tool player at the tight end position. And again, that would open it up for other guys, not just Pat Freiermuth, but even the other receivers as well. So,
yeah, I think the sky's the limit for Washington. If he really hunkers down in the offseason, maybe go to that tight end U that they put on, and get some good training. I think he can be a star tight end. And I'm not taking anything from Firemoot. I think we could have two stars at tight end, kind of like the Patriots had when they had Gronk and they had Hernandez. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that for us. That would be great. Man, that would be great.
It would definitely be great. For years, I've wanted, when the Steelers lined up in a 2 tight end set, I wanted there to be, two options, not just this guy's going to block and this guy's going to go out and run the route. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think that could definitely open up some other possibilities for the team, if you've got that extra potential weapon.
Well, if you line up, both guys are competent at both.
Right.
When you line up, the defense don't know what you're gonna do. The quarterback can call protections for one guy to stay in, whether he is a good blocker or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you got one that they know don't normally goes out, they not gonna put a guy over him, a pass a pass defender guy over him, right?
Right.
They're gonna put it on the one that goes out all the time. So it just adds more options and give the quarterback more options. Makes it hard on the defense. All right, let's move on, Todd. GP, man, he all over the place, man. This George Pickens is having him a good camp, and I'm excited to see what he's gonna be able to bring.
Rob, I'm with you again. Not trying to throw any cold water on anything, but it just seems like Pickens is in the mold of today's really athletic receiver, in that they got tons of skill. No one is saying that they don't have the skill, but of course they have the mouth or the personality to go with it. And again, that rubs some people the wrong way, and that's cool. All I ask is, unlike a Chase Claypool, I just would like this guy to first back it up a little bit on the field, and then he can run his mouth all he wants. But again, I am not doubting the guy's athletic ability at all. Certainly the guy seems like he can make all kinds of catches that, most guys would just give up on. That's what I say I like about him the most, Rob, is that he doesn't give up on a route. If he'll just throw the ball his way, he's going to do everything he humanly can to catch the ball.
Yeah, his competitive is really high.
Yeah.
One thing I want him to be able to do is control his emotions.
Okay.
Either way, don't get too high. Don't do nothing crazy when you do something really good.
Right.
Don't get too low. When somebody do something to you that you think shouldn't have been done, don't go after them after then. And
we don't do stupid penalties. Yeah.
Right. So I hope he grows out of that, because he had that in college. You remember that incident with that South Carolina guy?
Yeah.
Right. We don't need none of that.
No.
And it sounds like he's maturing. I listened to him in interviews, and he sounds a lot better than he did last year.
Good.
And coaches kind of give him the leeway to be a man, which coach does. I hope he don't give him too much leeway and kind of rein him in when he needs to. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I want to see a controlled, emotional guy a little bit more. I don't want to take his fire away, but just kind of calm it down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. I'd rather say woe than sick 'em. So I'd rather have this than the other way around. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
All right. Injuries, Todd. Corey Trice, we know. DeMonte Casey, ankle. Keanu O'Neal. What was his Keanu O'Neal? His shoulder or something?
Rob, I never saw anything that said what it is. And another thing that has me mildly concerned, I know you saw it, Minkah Fitzpatrick hasn't even been at camp. They just said he's, out for personal reasons. Now,
right.
I know we don't need to know everything that's going on with the guys, and that is a fact. I'm just hoping whatever it is, and again, we're all human, so I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve time away to take care of stuff, but whatever it is, hopefully it doesn't take away from his focus when the regular season starts.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not something that's going to just drag on. I'm
not too worried about Minkah because he seems like, from the outside looking in, the type of guy that's, buttoned up. Coming out of the Alabama system, buttoned up, going to Miami. He was actually mad because Miami was so sorry, and the administration and organization wanted to stay that way. Seemed like he got out of there. So it seemed like he's buttoned up, and he going to do everything to put himself and the team in position to win. So I ain't too much worried about Minkah. Let him do what he needs to do. Maybe something, death in the family, anything like that. I don't think it's an injury because he ain't played nothing. So it may just be something really personal that he need to take care of. So take care of it. We be waiting on you, Minkah, when you come back.
Absolutely.
All right, Friday Night Lights is tonight, Todd. I wish they put you know what they need to do? They need to start putting this on TV somewhere, streaming it somewhere.
I mean, can you imagine, Rob, if say I'm making this up, but they charge $19.99, to watch the Friday night practice.
Yeah,
you know how much money they would bring in,
and they don't have to put the whole practice. Put bits and pieces like show backs on backers, show 7 shots, show 7-on-7 against air. They don't even have to show the whole the whole defense and offense together when they run in serious play. So, yeah, the NFL, I'm pretty sure in the next few years somebody gonna come up with that, because teams like us, we want to see that we can't go up to St. Vincent and watch it.
Right.
So, yeah. But one thing about it, we got competition, boy, at a lot of positions. I haven't heard anything about the punting. I guess that stuff won't come out till you get inside stadiums, as coaches say.
Probably so. You're right. There's literally been no talk about punting, kicking, long snapping. Yeah. None of that at all, even though, again, we've been keeping up ever since the draft ended about them bringing in people to compete in those positions. So it's there. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
Well, you know how coach creates the tension. I think he waits till it gets down close to cut time, and he gets all the players who's not on the field for those snaps on the sideline watching and hooting and hollering, and they have competition that way. You know what I mean? My college coach, what he used to do is our kicker would kick like a 45 or 50 yarder. If he made it, he would take off something like we might get the rest of the day off. If not, we're gonna go for another hour. You know what I mean?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So he would put the pressure on the kicker to make that kick, and him saying that, we would have pressure, on him. So yeah, that makes it fun. I think coach kind of does something similar, but he does it at the end of the preseason to make it even more pressure, because you miss these kicks, you ain't got no check.
Right.
You can go back to Piggly Wiggly and sack them groceries. That's pressure for you, baby. You talking about a
letdown, Rob.
You talking about pressure.
Yeah. That is serious pressure.
Yeah. All right, Ty, anything else you want to tell the people, man, or got for the people?
Rob, I had something. I admit it slipped my mind. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. So I'm sure it'll wait for another day.
Yeah, well, just hold on to it, and when you come back, just write it down.
I hear you.
All right, everybody, like and subscribe. Check out our website, even though we haven't started writing yet this year. We will get to some writing, I imagine. And but like and subscribe. We'll be putting a show out at least twice a week. from here to February.
Here you go, Rob.
All right. Without further ado, here we go, Steelers.
Here we go.
Who?
Who?